You are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station. Check out our website at www.worshipradio.faith or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Worship Radio INT. This is the future.
Good evening, and welcome to Biz Talk with DeAndre. And I'm your host, DeAndre Ford. And tonight our special guest here is none other than Miss Monica Marie Jones, who's a facilitator. She's a consultant, and she's a life coach. And we're going to have some fun this evening, and she's going to share with you what she does and how she can help you. So, hope everybody had a great week. And here in Detroit, it's kind of dreary and rainy, but I like to call it, again, I like the positive, look positive, turn something around, so I call it liquid sunshine.
Well, come on, man.
Liquid sunshine coming down. So again, we're enjoying our liquid sunshine here, especially after yesterday was in the 80s, and then the temperature starts to drop for fall. But besides that, it comes with the territory. It's Michigan.
I was going to say.
We have seasons. And
now, every day can be a different season in Michigan.
It could be 80 degrees today. Tomorrow, zoop, snow.
Absolutely.
But we're not going to speak that. We're not going to speak snow.
I'm not ready.
We're going to keep it positive. So again, welcome to Biz Talk with DeAndre. And again, I hope that everybody had a great week. And now it's Wednesday again at 6 p.m. So make sure that you share. Because sharing is caring. Oh, I got that from you, Shananda. Yeah, Shananda says that. Sharing is caring. I'm like, I like that. Because again, if you care about your fellow business owner, or if you listen to the show, you find out that you don't have to be a business owner or even a potential, but just everyday life, everyday person can benefit from what we have here on the show. So share. And for those who are just joining us, or if you're new to Biz Talk with DeAndre, every show we start off with affirmations. Affirmations. We like to affirm. And again, I usually say some affirmations here, but like I always say, you can write down your own, making it personal to yourself. You can go to, if you're into the Bible, if you're a believer like myself, you can pull out some scripture and use that as your affirmation. Or you can get online and Google. But again, you want to affirm, you want to speak positive, start here. Next thing you know, you do it in the morning. You do it in the evening. You do it when you're at work. And those things start to come to pass. You start changing your mindset. Yes. So today is no different. So get your pen, get your pad, and get ready to take some notes here. Now, our first one. I am the architect of my life. You got to be the architect of your life. You design it. You can't go through each day just willy-nilly and just expect to just get to your goal, your destination. That's just like me having, I want to get to California or even Chicago, which is closer. But if I don't have a map to get there, I could take all kind of turns and go around in circles, end up still in Detroit or Michigan. Or I might have just went to Grosse Pointe or Southfield. So again, I am the architect of my life. So write it down. You're the architect of your life. You got to set goals. And she's the life coach here. So she's going to tell her how to get to that destination, to those goals. She'll give us some pointers. She'll give us some teasers so you can go ahead and get the real stuff. So I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation. You got to have a foundation. You got to have something to stand on. So I build its foundation and choose its contents. Again, that's what I love about God. He gives us free will, a choice. And just like in some of the past weeks, we talked about happiness. Happiness is a choice. You can decide whether or not you're going to be happy or you're going to stay in the dumps. You're going to stay down here. So again, it's a choice. But again, until you hear somebody say that and emphasize it, you just go through life with what you know. So I'm telling you now that happiness is a choice. Being an architect of your life, designing your world is a choice. And then we're going to build that on a foundation, something that's solid, something that you know. Just like the word. If that's your thing, it's your foundation. You stand on that. So, here we go. I am the architect of my life. I build its foundation and choose its content. I choose what goes into it. I choose the relationships. I choose who I'll deal with. Because, again, you can't deal with everybody. Those naysayers and those who are just trying to shoot you down, shoot your idea down. You say you have a business idea and you're pumped and ready to go, then you run into somebody. It could even be a family member that's saying, oh, that's not going to work. And all of a sudden you get shot down and it's like, that's not going to work. And it keeps playing in your head. Next thing you're not doing it and it's gone. So you got to choose the contents that goes into your life. Second one, today I am brimming with energy and I'm overflowing with joy. Nothing like joy. And it's nothing like somebody taking away your joy and you're trying to get it back. So again, today, and each day is today, I am brimming with energy and overflowing with joy. Another one, which is very important and a very good one to say, is my body is healthy. My mind is brilliant. And my soul is tranquil. So again, you're speaking to your body. You're speaking to yourself that it's healthy. You're healthy. And then you start doing the things that you need to do as far as eating right. Now you're going and you're doing exercise. It might start off with just a few steps, which now becomes parking your car further away and walking further to your car to that destination. Next thing you know, you're in the gym or you're at work with dumbbells, or you have canned goods, something that's simple. Or instead of taking the elevator at work, you're taking the stairs. So again, you start speaking to yourself, my body is healthy. My mind is brilliant. Because again, sometimes you get the brain freeze, or somebody shoots down that idea and starts speaking negative to you. You start to believe that because that's what you keep hearing. So you have to tell yourself the total opposite of that. Again, my mind is brilliant. And again, you'll start getting those witty ideas, and you pray and ask God to give you those witty ideas. And then my soul is tranquil. It's nothing like peace. Like I always say, you cannot put a price tag on peace. Some folks just like to cause havoc, cause hell, just hellish. And that takes away that peace, that tranquility. Just like when I go out to the water, go out there with my wife, and we're on the riverfront or something.
Yes.
It's just so peaceful, and I start to just think of the goodness of God and just start looking around at the clouds. It might be a rainbow in the sky, but it just brings peace to our soul, and even our conversation. We'll be talking, and it's just a good thing, a beautiful thing. So again, my body is healthy, my mind is brilliant, and my soul is tranquil. Another one, I am superior to negative thoughts. I am superior to negative thoughts. So don't let the petty folks come into your life speaking that pettiness. Hey, if you just got to leave, walk away, hey, just smile, walk away. Again, it's funny because, again, you're looking at them, they're a joke. The pettiness that they have. And then the last one. No, I'm going to do two more. I have been given endless talents, which I begin to utilize today. Again, God has given you endless talents. He's given you gifts that you must use. So you have to tell yourself, you have to remind yourself that you have been given endless talents that you begin to utilize today. And after you say that day after day after day, those talents starts to come out. You start to come across people to say, oh, wow, this is your gift. And it starts to confirm what God has already told you or put in you.
Yes.
So it's just a beautiful thing, again, to use those talents. Like I always say, that the grave, the cemetery, is one of the richest places. Because, again, so many people died with their talents and their gifts and did not use them.
Yes.
So I love coming on the show and pushing affirmation, pushing my positive energy into somebody. If it takes, that I always say that one person, but I'm looking for maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, that it could be a blessing to. And then they start to share these affirmations with their children or their grandchildren, or they might be a mentor in the community where these young people start to change their mind early on and don't have to
Yes.
wait till their 30s and their 40s or their 50s. Get it young. So this last one, which is another, man, every time I see the one, I'm like, the next one is good. Now, I forgive. Man, forgiveness is a big thing with all of us, the human. I mean, not just forgiving people, but forgiving yourself,
Yes.
which is so important. You beat yourself up, get into a dump, or I'm depressed now. No. So we want to repeat this affirmation. Repeat it. I forgive those who have harmed me in my past and peacefully detach from them. As powerful. I forgive those who have harmed me in my past and peacefully detach from them. Like I said, I don't want to go ahead and have all this hatred or anger in my heart. No, I want to peacefully detach from them. Again, even family members, sometimes you have to love them from a distance.
Absolutely.
I love you. I love you. I do. Believe me, sincerely, I love you. But I got to distance myself because, again, some people bring that toxicity into your space, that
Yes.
negativity into your space, and that's not good. And now this is going to be the last one now,
For real.
because it goes back to this last one we just talked about. This one is a river of compassion washes away my anger and replaces it with love. So again, you have to keep saying it over and over throughout the day and the next day and maybe a couple weeks, and then it just starts to work on you. Because again, you're putting these words into the universe. You're giving these words to God, and it starts to change you, and then you hear it over and over. So it changes what your mind is used to. So again, a river. That's a big river, Detroit River, how it just flows. So a river of compassion. This is a lot of compassion that you're saying washes away that anger that you have. It could be something in the past, something happened yesterday, whatever, but you want to get rid of that anger and replace it with love.
Yes.
Replace it with love. So make sure that you write down these affirmations or you design to come up with your own, but make sure you do it and speak it. You could be in the car waiting for that car to warm up, and you just speak these affirmations. You know, and that's before you go into work, and most of all before you get into that traffic. Because these people out here, oh man, it's like I witness it every day. And it's like, okay, let me repeat one of these affirmations. Let me say affirmation. Like, Lord, help me. Lord, please. Because I done seen driving all crazy, running the stop signs, the red lights. And it's like, okay, I need to be calmed down. So those are our affirmations this week. So again, we're going to come back with some more next week.
Yes.
But now we're going to find out about how we can even, matter of fact, that's one of my questions too. Oh, I have some questions for you.
Really?
Yeah. And yesterday, my phone was just going real slow, and I kept putting it off as far as taking it and resetting it. Why did I reset it last night? So a lot of my emails, a lot of my passwords,
Oh my
I can't get
goodness.
into. So even my questions. But
Well, you sent
When-
them to me, so I have them if you need them, you know.
yeah, 'cause I'm like, okay, I want to go. But other than that, I can just, as I always say, shoot from the hip, because again, for what you do and for what Biz Talk with DeAndre is about, is a platform primarily for entrepreneurs, business owners.
Okay.
But like I said, anybody and everybody can utilize the information. So for what you do, I can just go off the top of my head and come up with some good questions that
Well, let's
for the
flow
listeners.
with it then.
Hey,
I'm
let's
ready.
flow. First of all, tell us a little bit about Monica Marie Jones.
Okay, so as DeAndre shared at the beginning, I am a transformation and transition coach. I like to kind of narrow it down to that because there are lots of different types of coaches. And I also use the same strategies and expertise to do consulting, primarily for businesses and organizations, as well as facilitation. So interactive, engaging trainings, professional development, just things to help people improve their lives, improve their businesses, improve their nonprofit organizations. So that's the short version.
Okay, so from what I heard a key word to me, interaction. So it's not like just you just talking and just throwing stuff out at those who are your clients and also in the group. It's some back and forth.
Exactly. And that's an important distinction around what a coach is. I think sometimes people hear life coach and they think, oh, this is somebody who thinks they know everything and have it together and they're going to tell me what to do. And that is exactly the opposite. So a coach actually asks questions and gives you tools and strategies that you engage with to kind of pull the things that are already inside of you to help you organize your thoughts and ideas, turn them into goals with tangible action steps. And then we just are like a partner or a guide on the side that holds you accountable. So the same thing with my interactive trainings. Adults actually need very specific things to learn. And we often go to trainings and workshops and conferences and somebody is just talking at us, usually monotone, from some PowerPoint slides or, some handout. Right. And, there are some people that learn in that way. There are some visual learners, some auditory learners, so they learn by hearing. But most people are on their phones, writing their to-do list, looking at their planner because they need to move. They need to talk to other people. They need to verbally process or reflect on what they learned. So everything I practice is based on adult learning research and just human learning research, which is we all learn in multiple ways. So you can't just do it one way and expect that people are getting what they need.
Wow. I love that right there, the explanation and how you shared that because even with young adults.
Yes.
Everyone has a different way of learning. But to me, from what I see in general, they don't take that in consideration. It's just like they just push it out there. You get it, you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
And again, when you become adults, you kind of went through that stage and now you're usually in the workforce and you're kind of, like you said, now they're kind of like just listening, but they're not listening because they're on the phones or they're looking at their planners, what they got to do. So how do you keep them engaged in what it is that you're teaching?
Yeah, so I'm so glad you brought up young adults because that is actually where my expertise started. So I started out working in after-school programs, so community centers, places where young people could go after school. Then I became a classroom teacher, and I quickly realized that I couldn't really impact the youth who really needed it the most in the ways that I wanted with the constraints and the rules and the things around classrooms and school systems. So I was like, let me go back to school and get into social work. Okay. So I got my master's of social work, and I quickly realized social work is not just one thing like people think. You can do so many things with it. And from that, I got into what is now called and professionalized as the youth development field. So it's more than just doing some sports or recreation after school. Young people are engaging in amazing, highly skilled programs after school. They're learning art. They're learning entrepreneurship. So through that work, I got tons of training in how to train adults on how to work with youth in high quality ways. And I've been doing that work as a consultant and trainer for about 17 years now.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so as I was learning all this psychology and research around education and learning and how youth learn, and then having to train adults and learning how they learn best, I took those practices and that's how I created my coaching practice. So what people will experience when they go through my coaching is a little bit different than your typical life coach because like I said, I am making sure that whatever your learning style is, you're getting what you need. So that looks like okay, everybody, here's some information. Now do a think, pair, share. So turn to your partner, think about what you learned, and share your thoughts. Take 2 minutes, and I'll throw on some music. So just mixing things up so it's interesting, it's exciting, it's engaging. Right. And the next thing you know, it's the end of the day, and people can't believe all that time went by because they were so thoroughly engaged from start to finish.
Hey. Now, what do you do with that person who's say that they're really shy and they don't like speaking in front of people or even engaging another person? How do you handle that?
Yeah, so actually research shows that what I just described is called cooperative learning. Okay. And that actually that actually benefits introverts or shy youth or adults because often think about you're in a lecture or in a workshop and somebody calls on you or what I call they voluntold you to speak up. Why don't you say something?
You freeze up.
That is so uncomfortable for someone who is shy or introverted.
Exactly.
So if you just say, take a moment and individually write in your journal your thoughts on that. Now they're getting that alone, individualized time you need. Or if you tell them just turn to one person or form a trio. they're going to be more comfortable sharing in that small group than they would in front of the full group. So that's why those engaging methods, or I might do something called a rotation brainstorm. So I have large pieces of those big poster-sized Post-it notes on the wall, different topics. Grab a juicy marker and write down your ideas, and then rotate to the next station. Write down your ideas under that station. So again, people are still engaged, but they're not made to feel uncomfortable or called out if they didn't have the choice to do so.
Yeah, and then to me, after doing that once or twice, it kind of breaks the ice and you feel more comfortable. Now it's like, okay, this is kind of fun. I kind of like this now. So you continuously go. And like you said, at the end of the day, it's like, wow, we're done already, or I've gotten so much out of that.
Thanks for talking about breaking the ice, too, because that's something I don't think teachers and presenters and coaches think about. Like, you have to set aside an intentional time for people to feel like they belong in the room, for people to get to know other people, structured opportunities. Because again, if I'm shy, I might not feel comfortable just going up and introducing myself. But if I say, all right, everybody, we're going to do something called the big question. So write down a question you would just love to hear from other people, ask your partner, switch questions, and go find another partner. So those structured and intentional opportunities for people to build trust so they can more comfortably interact with everyone. And even if we think about like disagreements and conflict and harm, people are far less likely to harm those who they've built a bond with. So in any type of learning, teaching, coaching we do, it's important to set aside that time right up front for people to break the ice and get to know each other.
Wow. Now, how did you get started, and what's your background?
Yeah, so like I said, initially it was elementary education. So I got my teaching certificate. Quickly got in trouble because I was trying to go above and beyond the school and the district rules around being able to help youth, especially those who had just different learning needs. And we often want to like label them and give them diagnoses, but sometimes it's really about how the systems are set up. And it's not set up in a way that's conducive to their style of learning. So, yeah, do you want to? What you got to say to that? I see something burning in your soul.
No, I'm just listening to that, and I just I have several friends who are in the education field, and they're go hard kind of teachers and want to educate, but because of the system and the constraints, it's like you're locked in and you can't do what you want to do. Yeah, and as parents or as the community, you're looking like you want that, but you as a teacher can't give that because your hands are kind of tied, and it's like the system just wants this cookie cutter way of educating the kids, and it goes year after year, and then they're fighting over the funds and all that, and it just gets to me because I remember, especially with my daughter, when she was in high school, and I became the president of like the dads group. Yeah. And, of course, you want to raise funds and everything. But as I was talking to one of the teachers, if you have a teacher that's dedicated and want to teach and you have what it takes, to me, the funds, they're important. But you can go beyond. Because, again, I look back at years back when teachers, especially the black teachers in black little schoolhouses, didn't have anything but a pencil, chalkboard and chalk and a desk and a seat, and they learned. They disciplined the kids, they taught them, and they came out great. And then you look and okay, we don't have the funds, this, that, and the other. My thing is, if you got a dedicated teacher, work really hard to educate those children, but then again, parents must do their job as well to go ahead and make it conducive for those children to learn in that classroom. And so it's just, you just got me going. But we're going to get back on track with you and the coaching, and especially now the individual coaching. Kind of share to the audience. Why would they want to get a coach or give you a call to be the coach? What can you do for them? Yeah, so I ended up kind of landing on calling myself a transformation and transition coach, because what I found was that
everyone who was coming to me for help kind of had some of the same things in common. Either they were in a job they weren't happy with and wanted to find a new job, or they wanted to leave the traditional employment world and start their own business and become an entrepreneur, or they wanted to make more money or level up in a leadership position in their existing company or organization, or they were just feeling stuck in life. Like, what do I really want to do next? Like, I feel like I'm just floating through life. So what I do is I help people reflect on where they are and where they've been. Also celebrate the highlights and what's working, but then create what I call a soul journey map, right? So what do you really want in life? What are you really excited about? What are your goals? And sometimes we're so broad with our goals, like, I want to make more money. Well, exactly how much do you want to make, right?
Specific
And exactly how are you going to do that? And when are you going to do that by? So I literally help people design a map, and I call it a map, but it's really like a list of goals and intentions with very specific action steps, and then they work that plan. And I have just seen so many breakthroughs with that. People texting me like, oh my gosh, I made that goal to raise enough money to open my new salon. Or, I actually signed up for that scholarship and I won, Wow. So things like that. Because sometimes we just get tired and overwhelmed with life. And we need that cheerleader. We need that person to hold us accountable, to check in with us, to follow up with us, and to help us organize all of the things that are going in our head in the midst of all of the distractions that the world has now. So helping you gain that clarity, take action, and, one of my taglines is design a life you love, because we really do have a choice. Like you said, happiness is a choice. We don't have to live in constant despair and depression. While mental health is real, and that's a whole nother conversation to talk about, there are some things that we do have control over. We can do the work and we can take the action with the right guidance and support.
Wow. So it was another key word that I picked up there. So how important is it to have dates and goals and definite?
Oh my gosh, so important, because you could totally be like, yeah, I'm going to lose weight. And then 25 years pass by, So you literally have to find ways to hold yourself accountable. Accountability. Right? So like last year, a goal I set for myself, actually it was in 2017, going into 2018. 40 by 40. I want to lose 40 pounds by my 40th birthday on November 1st, 2018. You know what I mean? It's like you have to give yourself these milestones and these markers and make it realistic. If it's too broad, if it's too overwhelming, you are going to be frustrated and you're going to want to quit. But if you have little steps you can check off, cross off, share with someone that you won, that's going to keep you motivated to actually reach that goal. If it's too fuzzy and broad and you don't have those checkpoints, then there's no reason or motivation for you to stick to it.
Okay. Now, what's one of your big goals for 2020?
Oh, well.
I got a whole lot.
So what I'm learning as business continues to grow and flourish, and I'm accomplishing all of my goals, particularly around financial freedom, I'm like, okay, there's only one of me. So how can I duplicate, automate, systematize the offerings I have to be able to reach more people, but to not burn myself out?
Exactly.
So one of my major goals for 2020 is to grow and scale my coaching business, almost like being the Hulu or Netflix of coaching. So if I can't travel to your city or state or country, or you're not available for a group coaching session I have, you can go, click a button, download a video where you'll still get all of my animation and all of my activities, but you guide yourself through it, right? Okay. Or you can join a subscription where you get monthly live videos where we can do a Q&A and we can do some on-the-spot coaching. So I want to build out systems, automate my gifts so that I have farther reach. And I'm actually going on a retreat this weekend with my mastermind group to literally map that out in 2020. What's that going to look like? What are the steps? By when am I going to do each action step so that I can fully launch that program in 2020.
Wow. And you can say, I remember seeing her back on Biz Talk with DeAndre.
Yes, I was just thinking that in the bathroom. I'm like, man, they better save this video because who knows what's next. So
wow. Now I heard you mention mastermind group.
Oh, man.
Kind of share how important or how beneficial that is to an individual or a business owner as well.
I'm so glad you brought that up because that is a game changer. One of the things that becomes almost a ceiling to our growth is that as we are growing, our peer group may not be growing in the same way or the same direction.
You get stuck.
So it's really important, particularly as business owners, to surround yourself with people who are aligned with where you are, with where your goals are, with where your money is, all of that, and people that will push you and challenge you and hold you accountable in a supportive way. You never want to be like the smartest person out of your circle or the most driven or the only leader. So I have a very small mastermind group, 4 women, another life coach, a therapist, a business coach. Okay. Every week we get on the phone early, usually on a Wednesday morning, like 7 a.m., whether we're commuting or getting ready to get on a flight. We share our wins, we share what we're working on, where we need areas of support, and then we share resources with each other. And that was a game changer for me because I was getting to a point where it was like, okay, I'm always the leader, I'm always the teacher, I'm always the coach. When can I get something back out of these relationships in my life? And now I'm like, oh, I got to keep up with them. We're reviewing each other's websites. Let me go fix my website. Oh, man, we're going to do a mailing list. Let me get a mailing list. Okay. Oh, shoot, we're doing free master classes to launch our coaching programs. Let me put together a master class. So
keep you on your toes.
Yeah, you got to have people to keep you on your toes. So I highly recommend everyone get a mastermind group because what you'll see is you'll start to rise to that level. You know, people say, I want to make more money. I want to make this much money. Well, how much money do all the people you hang with make? Okay, add that up. Okay, divide it by the amount of friends. Oh my gosh, that's what I make. Yeah, well, if you want to make more, you got to go learn from people who make more, you know. So who you surround yourself with has a huge impact on your personal and business success.
Wow. Good one. Good nuggets. Good nuggets. Take them down. Tell me, how important is accountability and having an accountability partner?
Yeah, so again, if we only share our goals with ourselves, it's easy to not do it. But if you put it out there and you tell someone else, and not just on Facebook, right? Because that goes and it flows on down your timeline. But with someone who's going to be like, okay, it's November 1st. Did you sign up for that class yet? Oh, well, you don't want to. People have told me I didn't want to come to my next coaching session and be like, I didn't do nothing, you know. So I had to do it because I knew Monica was going to be like, so how's your progress going? You know, so it almost is like you have to answer to someone outside of yourself. So accountability is huge if you really want to reach your goals.
Wow. Okay. What about, we talked about the individual coaching. Mm-hmm. Now, what about like the group coaching or that coaching for like a business owner? Mm-hmm. Are they the same or how?
Yeah, so group coaching is nice because some people actually learn better by feeding off of the energy of each other. So while I am the guide of the group, they are actually getting ideas from each other, learning from each other, getting to talk to people who can relate to them. Because remember, as the coach, again, that the people I'm coaching may not necessarily be kind of in the same peer group as me. So when they're in a group, now they're with other people who are like-minded, who are working toward the same type of goals, and someone who can really relate to who they are, where they are. Right. So a lot of my group coaching clients, who are also one-on-one clients, have been like, wow, the group was very beneficial because I got new friends, more people to hold me accountable, more people to celebrate with. And within itself, it kind of forms a mastermind group for the people who are traveling through in the same cohort together.
Wow. Now, you do consulting. Mm-hmm. Now, how important is having a consultant, or what benefits can a consultant be to an entrepreneur, business owner?
Absolutely. So, like I said, with coaching, that is, I'm going to guide you. I'm going to give you the tools. You do the work. With consulting, it's like, okay, Monica, I'm going to hire you because I need you to design this thing and make it happen. So, for example, just Sunday, I did a vision team retreat for a church because instead of your traditional board, they said, let's create a vision team that actually represents our community. So some of our, constituents, some of the youth in our congregation, some of the parents, people who really represent the community. Okay. And the pastor kind of gave me what the goals were, or what he hoped to get out of that retreat, and I designed a custom agenda, an interactive workshop. I did the research, and I delivered on this product. So at the end of Sunday, they had this 3-hour retreat where they were able to identify their values, their vision statement, their mission statement, the roles of their vision team, and their goals. So coach, gives you tools, you do the work, you work towards your goals, I hold you accountable. Consultant create something for you. They give you a deliverable, and sometimes they might facilitate it as well, but like they're actually creating a tangible thing to give you, to do for you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I heard you mention churches and organizations earlier. What else? Give us some ideas as to who can benefit from your services.
Yeah.
Again, like churches, you just told me, and I'm like, oh man, that's cool. Because again, you start a church or you have a church, and it might be a number of years, but then you get kind of stagnant.
Yep.
And the congregation, like, oh man, I want to hear the word of God, but we don't do anything in the church, or we do the same old. And so then you come in with some bright ideas to kind of put a little
and that's
in
exactly where they were. They're like, okay, we've done this much for 6 years. Now let's look at what we want to do for the next 3 years. So what I end up doing with a lot of organizations like churches, nonprofits, community organizations, and some small businesses is help them with strategic planning. So as you know, in order to, like you said about the GPS, to know where you're going, you have to know the address. You have to have the vision. So sitting with them, having kind of a planning meeting around what they need, and then creating a customized research-based experience to help them create things like their values, vision statement, mission statement, goals, and objectives. So again, they have a map or a plan to guide the next year, the next 3 years, and to make sure, like, it's important when we have a church or organization that we're making decisions and doing things that are aligned with what we believe in, who we are at our core, and our values. Too often we're like, oh, there's a grant. Oh, there's some money. Oh, they want to do something, and we just start going in all these different directions, and we lose sight of why we started in the first place. And the same can apply for individuals. So getting that clarity on your why you do what you do, who you serve, what the outcomes you want, and then any decision, any choice you have to make, you can measure it up against those things to make sure you are continually going in the right direction.
Wow. Now, I think you said you've been doing it for 17 years now. Wow. You coming up on the big 20s pretty soon.
I know. I'm gonna have to do a celebration.
Wow. So, out of 17 years, I'm quite sure you've run into some challenges.
Oh.
And here on Biz Talk with DeAndre, everyone that gets in that interview seat there, we definitely like to find out the challenges and the successes.
Yep.
Because again, we like to be transparent, keep it real. So maybe that person out there can utilize or use that challenge that you had and see how they can navigate around it, go under it, go over it. And, to know what's coming. And so just like to keep it real.
Yeah.
So what were the challenges of the business?
Some of my darkest, deepest challenges were what actually led me to formally launch my coaching business. I've always been helping people. I've always been like having my friends over like, okay, let me help you plan out your year, right?
Okay.
But I realized that no matter how much I was teaching and training people, no matter how much money I made, I still always found myself without money, living in undesirable situations, relationships, just having the same issues. And it really got to a point so low, a little over 5 years ago, where I was living in a neighborhood that literally, I'm looking out the window one day, an ambulance pulls up, a whole SWAT team jumps out, an elevator lands on the apartment building, and there's like this big drug raid, like right across, like right there.
Oh, wow.
And then like rats took over my house, like because there was a big abandoned building next door, right? So I'm trying to motivate people, but I am not authentically living this life. So I had to stop, take stock, and be like, how is it that I know how to make money, but I don't know how to keep money and manage money? And how is it that I am, believing that I have to live in an environment that is not healthy for what I need mentally or, just physical safety? So I was like, let me pause, because if I really want to be an authentic servant to people, I got to take care of myself. So what I realized, and remember you talked about mindset, I had to do the personal work. I had to work on shifting from a poverty mindset, because it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you are still in that mindset of lack, you spend it, you give it away, you blow it on all types of things you don't even need. So I had to really re-examine my whole life. And from that, I just started deep study on, my spiritual life, on money, how to manage it, how to make it, how to invest it. And I had to really change my circle of friends and people I spent time with. And then I had to focus because I was like, let me do real estate. Let me do a podcast. Let me do a talk show. Let me write a book. Let me, dance. Let me, so I had all these different things, which I was really good at, but I wasn't great at anything because I wasn't focused. So I zeroed in on my youth development consulting. I started doing all the inner work. And I kind of just built this system of rebuilding my life because I felt like the most powerful way to coach people, you don't have to be perfect, but you have to be living that life. You have to be walking the talk. I have a coach. I have a therapist. Like all the things, I'm like, here's what you need to improve your life. I am doing it. So that leads to my biggest success, finally breaking this cycle of like poverty and not having money and just living in squalor to achieving these financial goals I've always had that I didn't truly believe I could get, but like getting there. So, paying down and almost off debt, making six figures, having clients, doing work I love, owning my home, owning a brand new car, like all of these things I used to always write down and just hope for. But like you said, when you don't set those dates, when you don't have accountability partners, when you're not organized with systems in place, you can keep dreaming all you want to. You have to believe it's going to happen. So I started doing the affirmations. I started, really changing myself from the inside out, my mindset, and everything else followed. The mind, the body, the money, everything fell into place when I stopped, focused inward, did my personal work, and then I was able to improve my life and then truly be able to help others.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's going to help a lot of folks out there. That's going to help somebody out there. That's going to help somebody.
I hope so.
Because, let me just throw this at you. And again, I'll put you on the spot.
Oh, I love the spot. I feel like it's the best way to help people. So let's talk about it.
Now, I listened to that there. Mm-hmm. And me being that entrepreneur, networker that knows a lot of people that are in business, that are potential business owners, and just out there, again, trying to get to that goal. Mm-hmm. And you share your reality, you share your testimony.
Yeah.
And it's so many people that, they confide in me, and I hear how, people see them as a success, but this person didn't have food when they went home. Yep. This person here was sleeping in their car. This person here was getting people to drop them off. And this person here, it was just so many different things. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
So how do you feel? What's your take on this term, fake it till you make it?
Well, there's pros and there's cons to that. Just like you said with affirmations, this may not be what's happening now, but the subconscious misses nothing.
Subconscious, yeah.
So I am rich. I am prosperous. I am a money magnet. Like, it may not be your current literal reality, but your subconscious doesn't know. So it starts to believe it, and you start to take actions, and things start to be attracted and drawn to you, and you manifest that. So in that sense, yes, fake it like you got it because you want to trick your psyche into believing it. Mm-hmm. Because that's often the biggest barrier. We don't believe we can receive it, and we don't have the confidence. So in that sense, yes, if you got to fake yourself, if you got to convince yourself subconsciously, do that. But at the same time, I'm glad you were like, let's put you on the spot. Let's be real. Because social media has damaged us in that everybody out here winning. Honey, we are all flawless. Hair is always done. Face is airbrushed. Everybody's winning. My husband, my marriage, my vacation. Everybody's posting the highlight reel. No one's posting the reality. So it's really doing harm to our younger generation, because they've never lived in a world without social media. So when they see somebody with a snatched waist and a perfect face and long hair, they believe that is the reality. And I had a wake-up call when I went to Barbados last year, and they did like the carnival, and I saw all these beautiful, normal human bodies.
Human, not all of it.
I forgot what a regular body looked like, because all you see on TV is people who have had surgeries done and people who are just have abnormally train their waist to be this small, so unfortunately young people are getting really depressed because they see this. They're like, I'm not that, so there must be something wrong with me. So that's why I love sharing my story. Yes, I live with rats. Yes, my account has been overdrawn. Like, I've gone through all these things, but it's possible to come out of it when you shift that mindset and you work on yourself from the inside out, and you surround yourself with the right people, and you get into your spiritual practice and really, do the work, the affirmations, and believe what's possible.
When you use that term, I think of Elanya Van Zant.
Yes.
Do the work. Got to do the work.
Yep.
And it's so important. And I forgot what the situation was today, but it's like this microwave society. No, we want it now.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, man. And even, say, the younger generation, this is almost just like, I want the job. I don't want to do any work. Just give me. Like, no.
Yeah, and again, it's all media, not just social media. All media gives us this false sense that, Cardi B is on now. Such and such is on now. No, you didn't see the 17, 15 years that they had to work to get to the point where now they're this big star. It seems like it happened overnight, but no. Most of them put in the work, went through the hard times, had the transformations. And yes, what we see now seems like it just happened. Mm-hmm. We don't see what's below the surface.
I always say, you see the glory, but you don't know the story.
Okay.
And there's a story that led up to that glory.
You hear the testimony, but you didn't know what the test was.
Ooh, and the test we go through, the test. I'm like, oh, Lord.
So I think it's so important for us to be authentic and transparent, because somebody needs to know they're not alone. I remember one of the most powerful quotes one of my friends said was, somebody died today because you didn't do what you're supposed to do yesterday. And some of that, a lot of that is sharing your story. People think they are out here alone and the only ones suffering with what they're suffering with. So they need to hear and see. Here's someone who's been through what you've been through, depression, but who has come out on the other side, and here's how. So
I always say that God gives us the test. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it's not for us, but it's for that other person that he's going to have cross your path.
Yeah.
That only you can touch. I can't touch this person. You can't touch this person. But this other person who's going through that test, who now has a testimony, can now share that testimony and help this person to get where they need to get to.
Yep.
So again, don't hold it in. Share that testimony. Put it in a book.
Yep.
A lot of us have so many stories and testimonies, and it'll be helpful for us to put it in that book where that could be our therapy.
Yep.
And then when that person reads that book, hey, that's their deliverance.
Exactly. There's so many benefits to sharing our story.
So many.
So, we're so worried about what people think and so afraid. But, your story is not just for you. It's to get somebody else through.
That's it. Wow. And then when you're talking about, again, just changing, doing the work, the inner you, and it just made me think about it. I came across old DVD, and I was watching it a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. The Secret, the Law of Attraction. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, I got to get back into that and speaking it, in addition to the affirmations.
Yeah.
But when you watch that, it kind of knocks up here, and it's like, oh, man, I need to do that there. Oh, that's why this is happening.
Exactly.
Even though I say I don't want it, this I'll keep talking about these. I'll keep getting bills.
Well, I was just thinking about that too when you were sharing the affirmations. Remember, the subconscious misses nothing. So if you keep talking about what you don't want and what's not working, all your subconscious here is broke. Bills, so it's going to keep bringing those things to you. So speak what you want instead of talking about what you don't want.
Yep.
Anything you put I am in front of has huge divine power. Think about all the times I am is referenced in the Bible.
The great I am.
So what do you want to be? What do you want to have? Talk about that. Focus on that. Write that. And it will manifest. I know vision boards are getting a little extra trendy these days, but I was just looking at a vision board from 2 years ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is my life. Wow. That is literally my life. Some of the vacation spots I put on there, some of the phrases I put on there, like invest, be a leader, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God, I'm living it. So really do it. What do you want? Talk about that. Think about that. And it will manifest. But remember to be grateful when it's here.
Grateful.
Sometimes we get the thing and then we on to the next thing. It's like we finish one marathon and it's the starting line of another. No, like there were a couple years ago where you were like, oh, if I only had a car and if I only had a house. Now you got a car and a house. Now you're like, but I really need a treadmill. I wish I had a man. And like, no, like take a moment to sit in gratitude. Because what you have right now is what you only wished you had last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. So, and gratitude will bring you more too. The more you are grateful for what you have, even the little things. Sometimes I'm like, thank you, Lord, for clean running water.
Yes, the simple things that you see is simple.
The more you will get.
I used to keep a gratitude rock in my pocket. Now that you said that, I'm going to have to start that again.
Put it on back.
I reach in there and it's like, because again, we get so caught up in this everyday busy life, we forget about, maybe in the morning we thank God and everything, but throughout the day, again, being grateful, that gratitude.
Yeah.
Again.
I literally have a handwritten planner. I know a lot of stuff we do is digital, but to keep myself grounded, I keep a planner. And every week I have my happy list and my gratitude list. So the happy list is things I have to look forward to. Because again, research shows when you have things to look forward to, you're happier. So, oh my gosh, Greenleaf comes on this week. This is us. So it's not just TV, but those are something, but I get to have lunch with a friend I haven't seen in a year. And then on the gratitude list, even the smallest things. I made the drive safely from Grand Rapids yesterday, even though it was raining really hard. My lights are on. Like just writing the small things you're grateful for. I had quality time with my honey, stuff like that. And that keeps you in that positive space.
Wow. Like I say, I'm mentally taking notes, and then I'm going to do the replay, and I'm going to write the notes down that you got.
I whipped out my notebook when you were talking.
Wow. So hopefully that you have your notebook. If you've jotted down a lot of these, what I call nuggets, tools, information that can help you to be a better you, to have a better business. And now that we're about to wrap up, I got just a few announcements here that I want to tell the audience. But now, if they want to get in contact with Monica Marie Jones, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, that is the key. Monica Marie Jones. You can Google it. You can type MonicaMarieJones.com, and you will find all the information about my coaching programs, about work I'm doing in the community, and the same thing like on all the social media outlets, Monica Marie Jones, and you'll see I post weekly affirmations. Every Monday, I do a Mastery Manifestation Monday message, an encouraging word.
I just subscribed to that
for the people.
Day.
Yeah, Wednesdays, I share success stories to celebrate people who have gone through my coaching programs, and I share a video with them talking about their wins. So just lots of resources. Just Google Monica Marie Jones or go to MonicaMarieJones.com, and you will find all the information.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, I went to the website, and it was a young lady who was a video talking about her experience through the coaching program.
Yes.
And she was just so, how can I say it? It just kind of got me here like, man, I want to sign up. Because again, she was just so authentic.
Yep.
And came across, and I'm like, man, so do you coach men, women?
I do. I primarily focus on women, but I actually have several clients that are men. A lot of my business nonprofit clients are men who are executive directors or pastors or whatever. And then I have a few men who, again, executive coaching clients. I help them set goals for their business. But our personal life really affects our business. So a lot of times we end up setting personal goals in that will help to increase business. So, yeah. Okay.
So be sure to go to Monica Marie Jones, be it Facebook, Instagram, or what some of the other ones.
Pinterest, LinkedIn, Snapchat, everywhere.
All the social media
YouTube,
platforms.
you can see some of those testimonial videos. So I am across all platforms. And like you said, the best way is to sign up for my mailing list, because then you'll get up-to-date updates and inspiration in your inbox every Monday morning, and some Wednesdays too.
So for those who are excited, they're ready to change their life right now, and they heard how personal you are and how you kind of focus on the individual and make it interactive and fun.
Yeah.
Don't you have something coming up?
Well, yes. Tomorrow is the launch of my new Soul Tribe live group coaching experience. So we actually ran into each other at Cocoon Detroit. It's a new, really exciting co-working space here in Detroit. And every Thursday for the next 6 weeks, the group will come together and we are going to design a life they love. First session, create clarity and alignment. Second session, your soul journey map. Third session, manifest and manage your money. And so fourth session, create your own mastermind group. So all of the components you need to master your mind, master your money, master your body, and design a life you love. So I do have a few spots left, and that kicks off tomorrow at 6 p.m. and it's every Thursday in October and then the first Thursday in November.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just a small, intimate group, so there'll be no more than 8 people.
Oh. So if you want to design your life that you love, contact Monica Marie Jones ASAP tonight, where you can get in there tomorrow.
Last chance.
Last chance.
We got to make sure we got food for you.
Right. Yeah, you know, some folks it's last minute, but don't think about the preparation that they have to do.
Materials, all that stuff. So we want to make sure you got what you need.
All right. So got a few more minutes, and I just wanted to share some information to you out there that are entrepreneurs or just want to look into being an entrepreneur. Over at Build Institute, and you can find them at Build, B-U-I-L-D, and then it's Institute, INSTITUTE.org. So Build Institute. Matter of fact, they just got their new office right at the old Tiger Stadium, right there at Michigan and Trumbull. So I went in there yesterday, and I'm like, oh man, nice space with computers and everything. So they're going to have tomorrow between 4 and 7. Matter of fact, I put it on my phone, but it's from 4 to 7 tomorrow, and it's going to be, they call it a happy hour. So from 4 to 7, you come in there, check out the space, find out what it is that they do, and the program that they're going to have starting next week. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I got this phone, and I kind of reset it as I was telling you, and I'm like, oh boy. Let me see, but I can find this real quick. There we go. It's October 2nd, which is tomorrow. We will have our think tank and group ideation. What's next interactive lunch. Oh, no, that's today, October 2nd. So tomorrow, October the 3rd, join us after work for our DJ Remix Happy Hour with sounds by DJ Linda Carter. And again, that's from 4 to 7. So you can have some fun after work and also ask questions about business and the upcoming programs that they have. Again, that's Build Institute. And they're located in the new office at the corner of Michigan and Trumbull, where the old Tiger Stadium was. And let me see, we got Detroit Soup. And again, Detroit Soup is a micro-granting dinner celebrating and supporting creative projects in Detroit. For a $5 to $10 donation, attendees hear from 4 presentations ranging from art, urban agriculture, social justice, social enterprises, education, technology, and more. And what they do is the presenter pitches, and then whoever wins from your vote gets the money. So we got a soup coming up, and that's Sunday, November the 17th at the Jam Handy, and that's on the East Grand Boulevard. It's at 2900 East Grand Boulevard, and it's $10 for soup, salad, bread, and a vote to vote for that particular person that's pitching. And what time is it start? Doors open at 5 p.m. So again, that's Sunday, November 17th, soup, a dinner funding micro grants for projects in Detroit. And the last one is Kiva, loans that change lives. Again, you might have a dream and you need a big loan. So what they do is give you 0% interest loans with no penalties, fees, or additional costs, ranging from $1,000 to $10,000. So again, you definitely want to contact Kiva. And again, I believe that's through Build Institute as well. So go to buildinstitute.org and you can get more information. So again, that's the announcements for today, and I'm looking at the clock here, and it's like, oh, ticking down pretty quick. So we got a lot of information from Monica Marie Jones today, as far as coaching, as far as changing your life, designing your life like we talked about earlier with the affirmations, you're the architect of your life. You choose. So you have a coach here. You can go ahead and call and get into the program and start to change. Again, we become adults and we just got kind of get stuck.
Yes.
And we kind of do the same things, and we, especially after you start having a family and kids, you put off dreams, you put off things, and you sacrifice for the kids, and you forget about yourself. So now it's time to redesign yourself. So I've had a great time, as always, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. at Biz Talk with DeAndre on Worship Radio International. And so now we're going to come to a close, and this is the part I really don't like. But I love my listeners and my viewers out there. And for those businesses that's looking to get your sponsor on Biz Talk with DeAndre, get in contact with me. Again, we got the website. Put your information out there. And again, we want to increase business. So again, in order to keep Biz Talk with DeAndre on the air, we're looking for those sponsors. So go ahead and be one of those sponsors. And again, the $5, $20, whatever it is God puts on your heart. And we can keep going, and we get this information from all these entrepreneurs and business folks out here to help you. So it's about that time. So I'd like to thank our guest tonight, Ms. Monica Marie Jones, for being a guest here. And again, you had a lot of great information. And again, I'm going to go to the replay and take some notes and put them in play.
Awesome.
So, all right, well, everybody take care, take charge. May God continue to bless you and your family. Until next time at 6 p.m. next Wednesday, I'll see you then. God bless you.
You are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station. Check out our website at www.worshipradio.faith. Or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Worship Radio INT. This is the future.